From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OSU update with John Helsley. I'm Jenny Carlson. John, a name that I think Cowboy fans are now familiar with, and the nation, it looks like they may be getting familiar with, Emmanuel Ogbah. You're going to be writing about this guy and his story. What do we know about him at this point, besides the fact that he looks like a heck of a defensive end?
Well, that, and he wears the number 38, which is an odd number for a defensive end, especially when they put him inside on the nose, which they do at times. But he's a guy that I know that they've liked. Bill Young, the former defensive coordinator, recruited him out of the Houston area, and started to show some things last year as a redshirt freshman. Made some plays late in the season, and I tell you this: in preseason camp, there was a lot of talk about him. We always hear about James Castleman and Jimmy Bean, the other guys on that defensive line. Now we're really starting to hear about Emmanuel Ogbah.
What is it about him that may elevate him to, some heights that because Mike Gundy's saying in his Monday press conference, this guy's got a chance to be the best defensive lineman that's been a Cowboy since he's been a coach there. So we're talking about some pretty good players out there that he's lumping into this. What gives Ogbah a chance to maybe get to that point?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. Number one, he passes the eye test. I saw him coming off the field after the game the other night and was reminded he looks like a monster out there. He's tall, he's really bulked up and he's ready to go. But the other things that go along with that is people have talked about his work ethic, his focus to be a good player, and sometimes that gets overlooked. How bad does a guy want it? You get the impression that this kid really wants to be good.
This is a position of such strength for the Cowboys. Does his emergence make it clearly the strength of this team? Yeah,
I think it does because, underrated in a lot of ways. I think they didn't have anybody on the preseason All Big 12 team but James Castleman in there. We talked about Jimmy Bean. I think Ofa Haltow's going to have a good season at the other defensive tackle. Then you have other guys at end like Trace Clark and Sam Wren. They really have a lot of players. And then what Emmanuel was able to do the other night really put a lot of pressure on Jameis Winston, kind of disrupt Winston and the Florida State offense. I think this has a chance to really elevate that unit and really elevate the defense.
Could he be a double-digit sack guy?
I think he's got a chance. He's on his way. He's got 2.
Yeah.
He's got 2 in one game. And hey, the opponents are going to get easier, you would think.
Yeah.
That's a really good offensive line at Florida State. 5 seniors, several of those guys projected to go in the NFL draft.
All right, thanks, John. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.